Happy December. I am back from 10 days completely off the grid. I was at a meditation center in Western Massachusetts taking a 10-day course in Vipassana meditation. So yes, I was there over Thanksgiving. You have no idea how many people I told what I was doing and they're like, really, over Thanksgiving? And it's really not that big of a deal to me, and it was a very intense and profound experience. I think I will do a short video why you might want to consider doing something similar. So even though I was away for about a third of the month, I still managed to accumulate a number of favorite products into November favorites. My hair is doing this like really annoying curl. I hate it. Like when I let my hair air dry, I pin my bangs back so they'll dry straight, and if I remove the pins prematurely, this is like what happens. Okay, so I think in a previous video I have talked about my love for the Real Techniques buffing brush, but I've actually been foregoing using this recently in lieu of using the Real Techniques Expert blah. I've been using the Real Techniques Expert face brush much more than the buffing brush, and so I'm not sure if it's because I've had this a while and I've used the heck out of it that the bristles are becoming a little bit less dense, or maybe I just am feeling like using a denser brush these days. But this one, you can see, is a little bit smaller. I really like using this for blending out concealer under my eyes, on my cheeks, around my nose and chin, and then just kind of, I apply my base with my fingers, but I really like going over it to really work it into the skin and blend it in with a brush, and so I've just really been liking the Expert face brush. Of course, I can't go through a favorites video, or probably really any video, without mentioning my love for the Pettivore shop and the products that they carry, and this Wild Mint Body Butter by Flo and Theo has been really incredible. You can see how much I mean, it's a small sample size, but I'm almost out of it. It's very light and airy, and the scent of this one is minty and really, really refreshing. So I tend to, when I get out of the shower, put a body oil all over my skin, mostly just my arms and like my torso area, and then I usually just put lotion on my legs. But I've been going over the body oil with this as kind of an additional layer of moisture now that colder weather has hit, and the scent is just really invigorating. The formula is really, really nice, extremely moisturizing, and I feel like I'm talking like 90 miles a minute. I called my mom yesterday after I had kind of reintegrated from getting home from my meditation course, and when I felt calm enough to call her and talk to her, or kind of like not so frazzled from all the inputs and kind of getting back into life, we started talking, and she's like, you're talking 90 miles an hour. I was just like, oh, and I should mention, the retreat was completely silent. You couldn't talk to anybody for 10 days, so maybe that's why I'm like on overdrive now. So you know how when you try and lead kind of a more natural, healthy, whatever you want to say, lifestyle, you get to this point where you're like, there's so many health habits that I should be doing, that I could be doing to enhance my health. I've definitely gotten to places where I'm so overwhelmed with like, I have to oil pull, I have to do yoga, I have to meditate, I have to drink a green smoothie every day, I have to take a probiotic, I have to, the list goes on, it's infinite. And so basically, I've gotten to a place where I can just kind of ebb and flow out of particular health enhancing habits. And one that I have picked back up again is dry brushing. And I've been dry brushing on and off for a number of years, and 6 or 7 years probably, and I kind of got out of it because the dry brush that I was using was too firm, and so it was quite an unpleasant experience. And I picked up this one probably last year from Spirit Beauty Lounge. It's the Hydrea London Professional Body Brush in the soft medium bristled. I do feel like I'm reaping the benefits when I dry brush before I hop in the shower. I'm not going to go into the benefits or the method of doing it in this video because there's so much out there on dry brushing. I just feel like it's a very refreshing, enjoyable habit for me right now. So I've been reaching for my body brush a lot and probably doing it 4 or 5 times a week before I hop in the shower. I have professed my love for false lashes in my videos before, and I was a big user of the Duo lash adhesive. Very toxic. I think it has formaldehyde in it, and countless other very toxic, bad for you chemicals. The only natural non-toxic lash glue for a while that I knew of was the Physicians Formula one. You couldn't buy it individually. It comes sold with their lashes, which are bad. I would never use the lashes, but I would use the glue. The glue itself was okay. The problem was the packaging and the dispensing mechanism. Basically, there was no dispensing mechanism. It's like a little tube with a spatula, and you have to like get the product out and like spatula it onto the edge of your lashes. It was just messy. I felt like I could never get the product out. A lot of product would collect around the rim of the container, and it was just gross. So when I saw, of course, in the goddamn Pettivore shop, I'm like their #1 spokesperson, obviously. When I saw that they had an all-natural, non-toxic, and vegan and cruelty-free, because that's their shtick, eyelash glue, I was like, yes, I'm all about you. It's the Georgie Adhesive, and this is the packaging that you need for an eyelash glue. It's in a squeeze tube, much like the Duo Lash Adhesive, and it's got quite a fine tip applicator. It's just so easy to use. It's literally like an exact replacement for Duo, which was, you know, my gold standard before. And so I've used this a bunch, and these are the kind of lashes I use. It really depends. They're all Ardell's, most of the ones that I have. I often tend to cut them because I've kind of gotten away from doing full strips because they look a lot more fake, basically. And I like to just enhance the outer edge of my lashes without looking like I'm so noticeably wearing fake lashes. So these haven't been cut, but these are also a little bit less dramatic than, I think these were wispies that I cut in halves, I think. So I've definitely been reaching for false lashes more after finding this lash glue, and I'm amped about it for sure. My next favorite is something I've been truly freaking obsessed with all month, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to get on this bandwagon. So this is a stick of Palo Santo. If any of you have heard of burning sage to purify a room or cleanse crystals and gemstones, Palo Santo is sort of an equivalent of sage. I don't especially like the way that sage smells. Oh, some people really do. I am in love with the way that Palo Santo smells when you burn it. I'm actually going to do a separate video on Palo Santo, why I'm obsessed with it and how I use it, because it's just had such a marked difference on my kind of mental state. So it was traditionally used in shamanic ceremonies and somewhere in South America. It's supposed to basically cleanse the space and raise the vibrations of the room. And beyond that, it just smells incredible. Like, to me, it almost kind of smells like coconutty, but like a warm coconutty, fruity, comforting scent. It's so hard to describe. I burn it probably at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. Always in the evening. It's so calming and relaxing, and I mostly burn it in my bedroom, but I have burned it in other parts of my house. But when I come into my bedroom, I just feel like, feel so good. So you can pick this up in most kind of new age shops that carry tarot cards, gemstones, you know the drill. I picked mine up at a shop in Salem, Massachusetts, and there's also a website where you can order it. It's called like sacredpalosanto.com or something. I'll link it down below. I have a television favorite this month. You might think I'm crazy because the concept of it is sort of silly. It's the People's Couch on Bravo. Do any of you watch it? The whole concept is super meta, right? So you're watching people watch television. But first, and you wouldn't really think that that would be that entertaining. Every time I watch The People's Couch, I'm like rolling with laughter, like guffaw, laughing out loud, because they're so funny. My favorites are, I think her name is Brandy, and I don't know the other one's name, but it's like the lesbian and her their friend, they're like best friends. Their commentary is so funny, and there's like 3 little chihuahuas that are like around, and they always are like drinking wine and eating snacks, and just their commentary is so funny. I also really love the 3 gay guys that they have. I mean, like, what's better than gay snark? It's like the best thing ever. And then they have these 3 Golden Girls-esque silver foxes, and they're so funny, particularly if there's any kind of racy sex scene that comes on the show that they're watching. And so they watch some Bravo shows, but shows on kind of any popular show, like Walking Dead, Homeland, anything on E or Bravo or things like that. And it's just highly entertaining, the way that it's all edited. And yeah, if you have Bravo, you should definitely check it out. I'm totally obsessed. My YouTube channel favorite for this month was sort of a serendipitous find. I think that it was just a recommended channel for me. I didn't hear about it from anybody in particular, but it's Teal Swan, the Spiritual Catalyst, and she is an extrasensory luminary, I think is her official title. So basically she has abilities beyond the senses that we typically would associate with normal human consciousness. She has like, I think between 100 and 200 videos up on all sorts of different themes related to spiritual growth and development. One that I watched last night, her most recent one, was all about projection and why we project unconsciously onto others and others project unconsciously onto us. She speaks with such a clarity and wisdom that you definitely feel connected to it. I do anyway, and kind of helps raise your awareness and think about situations in new ways that you might not have before. So there's a couple in particular that I would really recommend to get started with if you're interested in this kind of thing. I'll link them down below, but off the top of my head, her video on finding your negative imprint and then finding your purpose in life, it's all in one video, was so profound. Her video on why we don't remember our past lives I found really enlightening. I think that she's such a worthwhile channel to go check out if you're interested in spiritual growth and development. Lastly, music. I'm just gonna pull up my music on my phone. I've still been in a huge Marie Dahlstrom obsession. I downloaded her other album, Gloom. I had started with her shorter EP. Gloom is like a full, it's like 12 or 13 songs. I'm constantly listening to this album over and over because her voice is otherworldly and touches my soul. In particular, the song Reunion featuring Kimba is amazing, as well as the little a cappella interlude that follows. What's It Gonna Be is beautiful. And then not on the Gloom EP, but was released as a single, is her song Search. Definitely check it out. And then after you listen to Search, go listen to Atmosphere's song God's Bathroom Floor. Tonally, they sound very similar to me, or that's the song that I thought of in my head when I heard Search. God's Bathroom Floor is my favorite Atmosphere track of all time. It's actually one of my favorite lyrical melodic hip-hop tracks of all time. And yeah, so I guess that God's Bathroom Floor by Atmosphere would be another favorite. It's like a forever, lifetime favorite. Beyond Marie Dahlstrom, another discovery I made during November. It's a DJ duo, I think that they're from Spain, called Dance Spirit. A couple tracks in particular, Late Night, Early Mornings, the Bedouin remix. Total bomb, so good. And it has this like interesting flamenco guitar. Does that sound nice? So Dance Spirit and Balcazar and Sordo did a track called 110 Stairs, the original mix. I'll link them down below in case you care to check it out. That's it. I feel like I raced through this video. I'm kind of still reacclimating to my life. More beauty videos coming up soon. I'm glad to be back, and I'll see you guys later in the week. Bye.
Step back.